We are still doing some pre-algebra review. So you can continue in your notes or do a new page, however you want to do that. We have two topics today. So with our pre-algebra review, today we're going to start with evaluating expressions. Okay, a couple examples for evaluating expressions. So that's where it gives you, remember, an expression does not have an equal sign. So if it gives you something that looks like 2x plus m, and then it's going to tell you what the variables are. So when x equals 5 and m equals 3. So we're going to evaluate this. So we're going to get a number answer. X equals 5, so I'm going to take that 5 and I'm going to put it in for x. M equals 3, so I'm going to take that 3 and put it in for m. It replaces the variable. And then we're back to our order of operations in solving. So we start with multiplication for this one. So 2 times 5 is 10. Bring down that plus 3, and then we're just adding. 10 plus 3, 13. So there's your answer. Now let's try another one like that. So for this one, let's do m squared minus 3n. We're going to do that when m equals 5 and n equals -1. So m squared, m is 5, so I'm going to take that 5 and replace the m. N is -1, so I'm going to put that in for n. Now 3 times n, they're sitting next to each other, so make sure you have those parentheses and you don't subtract. Now I'm going to evaluate. So exponents first. 5 squared is 25 minus 3 times -1 is -3. Now remember, what do we do with a minus? There's a lot of different little sayings to remember this. I use bam bam. So anytime I have a minus right next to each other, a minus negative, I do bam bam. So then we have a plus. So we have 25 plus 3 is 28. Now I want you to write this one down and do this one on your own. We're going to do 3xy plus z when x equals 2, y equals 1, and z equals 5. Go ahead and write that down and try it. All right, now we're going to kind of combine a bunch of stuff and do simplifying expressions. So simplifying expressions will go over the distributive property. It will also go over combining like terms. So simplifying, I just wrote the same thing, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. Simplifying expressions. So number 1, let's go over the distributive property first. So we have 3, open your parentheses, so times x plus 5. Anytime you have a number in front of parentheses, we're going to distribute it. I like to write my loop-de-loops or bunny hops. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 5 is plus 15. And then make sure we can't combine anything. Those are not like terms. This guy has an x, this guy does not. So that's simplified. Okay, there's no equal sign, so there's no solving. We're just simplifying. So the next one, let's try another one. -2, open your parentheses, 3x minus 4. All right, so I'm going to do my loop-de-loops. -2 times 3x is -6x. -2 times -4 is plus, negative times a negative is a positive, 2 times 4 is 8. I can't combine those. This guy has an x, this guy does not, so that would be simplified. Okay, go ahead and write this one down, and I want you guys to try this one on your own. 9, open your parentheses, 2x minus 3. Go ahead and write it down, try it on your own. All right, let's try some harder ones. So the next one, we're going to do 27 plus 3 times x plus 4. So this one has multiple terms in it. Now we're going to start having to combine like terms after we solve. So let's go ahead and start with our distribution because we have a number in front of parentheses. So I'm going to bring the 27 down, bring the plus sign down. I have 3 times x, so 3x, 3 times 4, so plus 12. Now when I get to this step, I do have some like terms, so I'm going to look for that. I have 3x. Normally your variable goes first of highest power, so 3x, he doesn't have any friends. I'm going to bring him down. However, my 27 and my 12, neither one have an x. They're both constants. They're just numbers. So I can put those together. 27 plus 12 would be positive 39. And that would be simplified. Let's try another one like that. So the next one, we have 5 times x plus 2 minus 4 times 2x minus 1. Now this one, there is a step that you have to be very careful with. Watch that negative sign in front of the 4. All right, so let's start with our distribution with the 5 first. So we have 5 times x is 5x. 5 times positive 2 is plus 10. Now that negative sign, or the minus sign in front of the 4, has to stay with the 4. So if you want, you can change it to plus a negative. That way we're distributing that negative sign. So negative 4 times 2x would be minus 8x. Negative 4 times negative 1 would be negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 1 is 4. Now let's see what all we can combine. So I'm going to look at my x's first. I have a 5x and I have a negative 8x. So 5 minus 8 would be negative 3x. And then my numbers, I have a positive 10 and a positive 4. So 10 plus 4 would be plus 14. And there's simplified. Okay, I want you to write this one down and try this one on your own. We have 2 times x plus 1 plus 3 times 2x minus 4. Go ahead and pause the video and try that one. All right, a couple more, because there is one more kind of a little bit harder step. So the next example together, we're going to do x times 2x plus 3 minus 18. So now we're distributing an x. So what happens when I distribute this x and I do x times 2x? Well, an x has a 1 in front of it. Remember, if there's nothing written in front of a variable, it's a 1. So I'm going to multiply my number. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then x times x is x squared. Then do it to the 3. 1x times 3 would be plus 3x. Bring down that minus 18. And check for combining like terms. I have an x squared. There's no other x squared, so they can't go together. 3x, I don't have any other just x's. And a number or a constant, I don't have any other ones. So that one would be simplified. Okay, let's try another one like that. I have 3x, open your parentheses, 2x minus 4, plus 5x, open your parentheses, x minus 7. All right, so let's distribute. 3x times 2x. So 3 times 2 is 6. X times x is x squared. 3x times negative 4. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Tag on the x. Then do your 5x. 5x times x. Remember, there's a 1 in front of an x, so 5 times 1 is plus 5. X times x is x squared. And then 5x times negative 7. 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. And then tag on your x. Now we have to look to combine like terms. So I'm going to start with my x squareds because that's my highest power. I have a 6x squared here and a 5x squared here. 6 plus 5 would be 11x squared. I have a negative 12x and a negative 35x. I can put those together as well. Negative 12 plus negative 35 is negative 47x. Watch your signs. And that would be simplified. Sometimes you'll have a constant, sometimes you won't. All right, write this one down and try this one on your own. We have x times 3 plus 2x plus 2 times x minus 1.